Welcome to Barely Stable, an intermediate level podcast. A cool disc golf podcast for intermediate players. This is the Barely Stable Podcast.
Live from beautiful Austin, Texas, it's the Barely Stable Podcast. Here to BS, your Barely Stable host, Daniel Freeberg and Nick Barr.
Welcome to the Barely Stable Podcast. I'm Daniel Freeberg here with my esteemed co-host, Nicholas Barr.
What's up, man? How are we doing today?
Doing great. Excited about our show.
Absolutely. Got a big show today. Big show. I mean,
Huge.
Maybe the biggest show we've ever done. We're only 4 shows in, but it's clearly the biggest show we've ever done. We've got 2 guests today, both going to call in. One, we're going to get a video call, and I don't know if the second one, I think it's just a phone call.
Just a phone call.
Just a phone call. I guess the first thing we'll do is we'll talk to an amateur out of Colorado who's a sponsored amateur, has kind of pressed the limits, if you will, of the kind of amateur systems that a lot of brands use these amateur systems to sort of like promote their brand, help amateurs along. They're a lot of them really cool. A few of them a little questionable. We're going to talk about all of those. Probably the biggest thing, look how excited Freeberg is. We have a big guest on later. He's going to call in about, guess what do we have, 30 minutes he'll call in?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's, we're going to adjust when he calls in.
Yeah, whenever it calls, we'll just go to it.
12-time world championship winner, disc golf, Ken freaking Climo. He was our first follower on X. I've been super stoked about it. Had a little conversation with him. Super nice guy.
I've never seen Freeberg fanboy, but he fanboyed. He called us. He texted us. He's like, well, I got... Okay. It's pretty awesome. I'm a little worried he's going to make fun of us. But I'm excited.
It's a distinct possibility. Yeah.
But first, I think we're going to talk about another fun thing we did this weekend with another local pro, Jay Yeti Reading. You guys might know him from the famous Yeti AVRs or one of the many other discs. He's got the Yeti logo on it. He put on a Battle Royale out in Monahan's Ranch, just north of San Antonio, where the top 3 or so people in each division all tee off on hole 1 together.
Yep.
19 people. And on hole 18, there is 1 person left because each hole, 1 person is eliminated.
We had a pretty awesome opportunity. There wasn't a lot of people signed up for this one, and so we played MA2, all 3 of us, including Rigdon.
Yep, it's an interesting thing when the only 3 people in the division are the 3 people on this podcast.
I don't know how often that's going to happen, but that's what made it such a unique opportunity.
It made it really cool. Also, we were all on the same card then, and then we just had, I think, one MA1 player on a card, who the MA1 winner was on the card, which was cool. So we got to play with the top of the MA1 division, and then the 3 of us playing MA2, and we had a bit of a battle out there, didn't we?
We did. I couldn't get any putts during the tournament, so Nick took the actual tournament. But we got some video a little bit to show you the Battle Royale.
Yeah, we can talk about why don't we do this? Why don't we cut to some video we shot of the Battle Royale, and then we can kind of talk about the whole day, how it went down afterwards. Because I think we got some sunglasses coming into the shop here soon.
Yeah, there's a top dog. We're going to try to do this whenever we can all get in a tournament. Whoever does the best. Top dog sunglasses. We got some pimp, barely stable sunglasses.
I'm not sure if Freeberg understands the concept of hinting something, throwing to it, and then coming back and talking about the thing we hinted. But what we'll do is explain the sunglass thing in greater detail even more after this video of us down enjoying a good time at the Yeti Battle Royale at the Monahan Ranch in San Antonio, Texas.
Let's check it out.
Welcome to the Monahan Ranch for the Jay Yeti Battle Royale. I'm going to do a little voiceover here for you guys so the people just listening at home can see what we're doing. So Yeti loves to take a good selfie before every single tournament, and as the tournament starts, it's a little hectic, to be honest. There's 19 people playing. If you miss off the tee box, you're going to have to pull a shot out of your butt like this one. For me, a little turnover bird that just nestled up underneath the basket. Rigdon had a great shot off the box here on number 2. think I got off the box clean here too with a captain's wrapper, just going the other way as a righty. And then Freeberg had a great left-handed little pull here through, hits the gap perfectly. I think this is the best hole we all threw off of collectively here on number 3. Number 4 had a nice Berg X bank off the top of the basket. That was close. Freeberg hitting a clutch birdie putt here. The ranch is beautiful if you're ever out that way.
Score. The punishment is you get sent home. Yeah. You get sent home, and everyone yells, "See ya!" This is in honor of the playoffs, man. We're win or go home.
Yeah. Oh wow. Freeberg with a big lefty pull here. As we're moving through the course, we're on hole 8 now.
Just teed off hole 8. All of us got a little bit of work to do. Nobody really parked except one guy. I say one person. One person. I was hoping someone gets a 4. Very interesting. So weird part about the game, everyone just parred. So all but 2 people. 2 birdies and all pars. Now on the chopping block.
Through the Berg a lot today. Got this one to go through.
The first massive chop block. See ya, Yeti, 1, 2, 3. See ya, Yeti. Oh. Jay Yeti reading just got knocked out. That's when it gets interesting. Clock is thinning out a bit.
Rigdon slicing through another tight gap. Wouldn't you know it, Freeberg does the same thing. I try to throw a Berg to lay up, I believe. Kind of saw how much his sailed. Now it's like, I'm just going to take the Berg. I'm going to lay up short of this creek. And wouldn't you know it?
Is that a bird?
That's the furthest I've ever forehanded a Berg.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, it was a bird. It was a bird, man. Wait, what?
And you can always rely on the Berg for the second shot too. Rigged in clutch birdie putt there. And we tap in for our pars. We're all still in the game.
Now roll 50
Freeberg
feet.
ended up on the chopping block here and had a little bit of trouble with the leopard.
Break him out. Break him out. No clutch on the chopping box, old Freeberg.
Chopping box. And the neck is up. Here we go.
And I just miss on this one. That one hits the canopy and I end up about 79 feet away from the pin. Rigdon ends up 77 feet from the pin, a little closer. But we are on the block.
So we're walking up to 12 now. Old Freeberg is out. I've tried to run one for a birdie because I'm dumb and couldn't make the comebacker. So we are now down to Nick and Rigdon. Going to see how they can finish out. Again, we're on hole 12, so we're down to just 6 holes. Both of them were on the chopping block, but I think they made it because somebody threw out of bounds. He's at 77. Rigdon. The other guys look like they're at 82, so I think Rigdon moves on.
Here we go.
Rigdon converts on the putt, as do I, so we both move on. And we both have a little bit of trouble off the tee. My forehand gets a little caught up in the canopy.
Remember what we did.
And very similarly, Rigdon gives it a toss that, again, just gets caught up in the canopy a little bit. I'm in a bit more trouble than he is off the box. I've got to put a Berg in between 2 trees here and get it to sit on the side of the hill.
Oh, he does. Oh, clutch.
And it
All right,
does.
he got it through. Sorry for the close shot, Nick, when you get that. It'll scare you. Now it's Rigo's turn to see if he can stay in.
Rigdon lands in almost the exact same spot. The dock here misses, and this is important because that was for 3. Or rather, that was for 4. Any foot fault. So I have this little tree in the middle of your screen to contend with, so I have to kind of throw a little Annie putt. You see I'm way straddled out. And I just felt the safest thing to do was just throw it in the basket.
Now, all I had to do was throw it under the basket and tap in, and I move on cleanly. Rigdon, same thing. He throws it under the basket, moves on cleanly, but the unthinkable happens.
No! Oh my goodness!
Freeberg said it right. Rigdon throws up, smart shot under the basket, doesn't push it any further. If I make this, I move on cleanly. Nothing to worry about. And it'll just be Rigdon and Doctor on the chopping block. But in epic Nick Barr fashion, I switch putters at the last second and take the putter on the ground and put it in my hand. And wouldn't you guessed it? It doesn't stay in the basket.
No!
That was for a clean and easy move on, and no one can believe it. I tap in for a chopping block appearance, and Dr. Dan still has to make this.
I don't like that footing there either. That's a tough place to swing.
And he does, and Rigdon taps in his as well. Now we are all on the block.
Another guy, I can't remember his name, on the chopping block. He's way better than we are, but Rigdon is not afraid. Dr. Scott is on the chopping block, and he's charged up. He's pissed. But we're gonna see what the boys do. I believe in Rigdon right here because that motherfucker's been on the chopping block like 8 times today, and he ain't going down.
We have Daniel Rigdon on the chopping block. Woo! We have Nick Barn on the chopping block. Woo! We have Dr. Scott Estop on the chopping block.
Dr. Scott.
Let's go in that order.
So
I think it's it. That's our
we're both on the chopping block here for this uphill par 3. It's about 310 uphill. It's not ideal for a lefty anyway, and that was a rough shot. That's a tough hole for a left-handed backhand. I grabbed a destroyer and threw it as hard as I could,
Just rips it.
and was fortunate enough to have a birdie look.
So much for that just got to get farther than you theory. Boom!
And then the third guy in the block, who also had the suicide putt, he launches one way up the hill, and that's gonna do it for. Man, that's gonna do it for our boy Rigdon. He fought hard. That's all the way up to hole 16.
Feeling all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it when I got kicked out either. This is it's kind of brutal, but it's a pretty rad tournament. Definitely. You're looking good though.
Thanks, man.
I like that hat. The hole
Team
we've been
Potato.
waiting for. This is 17. This is off the hill. It's going down. I'm gonna turn you around.
Now this is the hole we all wanted to see. This is 400 some odd feet through that little hole. Then you carry the river and a pond down to the left. And I just pured this one. I wish I could replay this shot on repeat in my head. It's my favorite disc right now, and I just threw it really good.
Oh, sorry. Let's see if Nick up here can make this this
I mean,
birdie.
high
Save
five from
himself.
Yeti.
Live on to fight another hole.
Got this simple backyard putt for an eagle, and I just hit the band. But I make the birdie, and we all move on. So on the chopping block, I just short this. I hit that little hill, and I am outside
That,
circle 2.
Non-CTP that knocks you out, Nick Barn, but you are the last am standing.
And welcome back. That was a great video you put together there, Nick.
Thanks so
Loved
much,
it.
man. You looked very handsome in a lot of those selfies there at the end.
Thanks, man. I know you had a couple that were much too close.
There was a couple. Was doing the same thing because the little screen on the front of the GoPro is little. So the format, first time I ever did it, I think first for everyone,
sure.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like, since it's the only top 3 in each division, when those type of tournaments fill up, which I think that tournament had a little bit lower sign up, if you will, because of the other big tournaments in San Antonio that weekend. He was kind of late in the registration, maybe. But let's say there's 100 people playing. This is the time to play your division, right? Because the first step is getting into the Battle Royale. You have to be top 3.
Yeah, 100% do an MA3.
Yeah, whatever division I'm allowed to play in, that's I'll play the lowest division. Or if there's like fewer people, like wherever the competition will allow me to be in the top 3.
Yeah, because you want to get into the Battle Royale.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All that matters is being in the top. You can shoot 950 if you're number 4. It doesn't matter. Like you need to be number 1 or 2 or 3. Whatever.
So the way it works, just so we can kind of clear up for everybody, it starts out just a normal round, just a normal PDGA sanctioned 18 holes, rated. We went through. We were very fortunate. This was a very small tournament, like Nick said, and when I saw there's nobody in there, we all signed up for MA2, so that we could get into the Battle Royale. A little, maybe, but it was, when we got into it, it was awesome. So the Royale, you got 19 people. Like they got the top 3 in each division, and I think they take 1 FPO, or the smaller divisions they only take 1. And so we get there, and the first hole, all 19 people are standing around. The lower divisions had to go first, so like the MA3 guys had to go first. And then we went, and it is super intimidating.
Yeah, so it's hole 1 there at Monahan is like a wooded like tunnel shot, 270, 280, not much ceiling to work with at all, maybe 8 feet above the baskets, the ceiling, the canopy. It's a hole, and everyone who missed that shot was getting chirped on.
Yeah.
So what happens is the person who, let's say, 2 people birdie, 16 people par, and then let's say 3 people bogey. Well, those 3 people now are on the chopping block.
Yeah. So somebody gets a double, they're out.
Oh, right. So if you just had the single lowest score,
you're out.
You're just out. But let's say people tie for the lowest score.
Which is what happens most of the time.
Yeah. You go to the next hole and you're on the chopping block. And then it comes down to just your tee shot.
Yeah.
Who can throw it closest to the pin and your tee shot. Now, if it's a par 4, it's your second shot technically. But it's still a nerve-wracking shot. Actually, where I thought I was going to get eliminated was on that shot from up high where you throw through the little tunnel down the hill. I was going against 4 pros. I was like, oh, well, all of them will throw it over the creek, and I will get knocked out. I have one option. That's to try to throw it as hard as I can or not. And that's kind of the risky play. Because at first, the game wasn't that. The game was get pars.
Yeah.
First 9 holes, it was par and move on.
Sometimes even bogey was good enough.
Absolutely.
For you to move on.
Yeah. And you kind of gauge that almost by like how people are doing off the box, because everyone still shoots in order from furthest away to closest. And Jay does a great job of like kind of facilitating.
Jay was so awesome.
Like that was probably half the fun, was having the Yeti just kind of directing traffic and like moving things around. That was super fun.
And he ripped on some people too. It was, he was hilarious.
He was very funny. Dez was very funny. There was a lot of camaraderie, but there was a lot of competition still, which was, I think, the best. I mean, that's what disc golf's all about.
And Monahan Ranch is super wooded. So if you haven't played it or if you haven't heard about it, the first, especially like the front 9, very, very wooded. You need to hit some lanes.
Yeah.
Shape some shots.
When we went in, what did we think the Battle Royale? Like, what was your actual estimation of where you would make it? How far?
I was hoping I'd make it about halfway through, but I thought realistically, I was maybe, my rating stacked up with the rest of the field, like I was maybe the 6th lowest or something like that. So I thought if I made it to hole 5 or 6, to be perfectly honest, I just didn't want to go out right away.
Yeah.
That was my big thing, was I didn't want to go out right away on the first couple holes.
My goal was like at least 5. Got to get to 5.
It was worse pressure it felt than a tournament pressure. It felt maybe 2 or 3 times tournament pressure. Like that's hole 2, I hit a first available tree, had to pull a shot out the crack of my to
beautiful
stay in it.
Yeah, it's like playoffs. It's like if you don't make it, you go home, and that's
one shot.
Yeah. And
it's rough.
What's crazy is I think most of us had bogeys on the front 9 in the tournament. I think at least a couple. I know I had like 5.
Yeah, I think I caught stride a little bit on because we played it last, but I think I did take my double on the
hole 2.
On hole 2, which is the same hole that almost knocked me out right away.
Yeah.
Which I was obviously thinking about that. I was like, oh great, the second hole is the hole I doubled. Can't wait.
But none of us bogeyed on the front 9. We all made it through the front 9 clean.
We did, pretty clean.
Yeah.
I was on the chopping block a couple times, for sure, but it did feel, I guess when we made the turn, we were on like hole 10, it was like, it's a little thin. Like there's not that many people playing now.
Starting to lighten up. Yeah. I'm still kicking myself. I made a bad decision.
What was your bad decision? What do you think you should have done?
I should have laid up. And that's what I think, that playing that battle royale will help your game, because it teaches you, if the 3's there, take the 3. Like bogeys
sometimes,
are worse than bogeys are more bad than birdies are good in that, for sure.
Oh, in that format, 100%. But I think that plays a little bit on the course too. That
Well, and that plays towards our rating, like our type of game.
Oh yeah.
For me especially, I think.
Yeah. I think that's the difference between, like, you can kind of, when you're playing all together, when MA1's playing with MPO, playing with MA2, and I mean, there was MA3 guys, you know, that you probably didn't think about too much because they were just kind of knocked out hole 2, hole 3, whatever. But all those guys, the real separator was how consistently can you kind of be in a not so bad spot. And if you do get yourself in a not so bad spot, can you concentrate and make sure that second one
Park it
is locked in, because it has to be under the basket. It can't even be like a 8-footer that you might have to think about a little bit, because we saw a lot of those miss, because it's a big difference when there's 20 people all standing around you and you have to make the 10-footer to stay in the game. Because if you miss the putt, everyone just collectively goes, "See ya." Which, again, that after you hear that the first couple times, it's a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, but we made it. All 3 of us made it longer, and that was really intimidating too, because it's like, here are these nationally known pros. You're in a battle royale with them. Can you beat them? And we actually did.
We did a little bit. It kind of felt. That was the thing. It was like, can we just throw some shots here? And then all of a sudden you saw one of them miss. And then the next thing you know, the Yeti's knocked out.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, we made it past the Yeti.
Yeah.
Like that by itself, when that happened, I was like, I can be knocked out in this hole and feel fine. Like that is 100% a victory at this point. Really, after I got past hole 8, which I did the same thing as you, kind of looked at the run, I was like, okay, I have in plus ground here. Now you play for broke. And then do you remember the hole we were on where there's 3 of us all about 80 feet away? And like, the weird thing is, if one person gets a birdie and then everyone else pars, everyone who parred is on the block.
Yeah.
So we're on a hole like that. Rigdon and I are both on the block, and we're both about 80 feet away. Rigdon's clearly the closest of the 3, but there was a guy who was a little chippy about his distance. He literally did the spotter and then handed it to me, and he goes, "It said 83," and I looked in it, and it was still saying 79, and I was like, "It still says 79. I haven't pressed it yet." He's like, "Oh yeah, it said 79 once."
But they were all like, it was hard to tell. Like, just walking up to the bat, it was like, what, 77, 82, and 89.
Dude, I am glad I didn't have to. I did not want to be in Jay's position. I don't want to have to be like making a ruling. I was ready to go, whatever someone says is the rule, and I'm fine with it.
Sorry.
No, you're thirsty, buddy.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Water. Sorry.
Drink up.
But either way, if you ever see a battle royale on disc golf scene or anything like that, I would suggest you check it out. Definitely a time to play your rating and, you know, jump in a division that you feel competitive in. Because really, if you're not in the top 3 of your division, it doesn't matter. You have to podium to get to the fun part.
It was nuts. It was fun. And Yeti, I can't say enough. The guy was so cool. Like, Des, awesome. Yeti, awesome. And it's got to be harder to compete when you're also trying to organize, because we are kind of a bunch of disc golfers, like herding cats a little bit.
Absolutely, but at the same time, it felt like Yeti was made for this. Like, it feels like Jay was made to be a TD / he's playing in the tournament too. Like, he gets it. He also kind of understands that, like, we're all just trying to have fun out here. He's not going to like take anything, I don't say too seriously. Like, he's like, the game's very serious, but like when we did the Battle Royale, like, fun was clearly the priority. You know what I mean? And when someone's kind of got that mentality, it's pretty easy to follow. So if you want to check that out, look at My Disc Golf Scene, or what's it called? Disc Golf Scene?
Disc Golf Scene.
Yeah. So if you like that, check out discgolfscene.com and look out for a battle royale in your area. If you're in the Central Texas area, I know he's got 3 or 4 coming up before the end of the year. Check out Jay Yeti Reading on Facebook, and I don't think he's on Instagram.
I don't think so. Well, maybe.
He could be. Yeah, so he had a bunch of cool Innova stuff out there for payouts, which the further you went in the tournament, the more cool stuff he got. So he had a bunch of his signature discs. He had Yeti AVRs. I know you got a real cool Leopard 3,
Leopard 3.
and the Destroyer, right?
Star Destroyer.
Both made it in the bag,
Yeah,
I think.
both
right?
the different stamps. One like that one, the orange one.
Oh, yeah, we got one up on the wall. Hopefully, if Jay, if you're out there, shout out. I know you said you'd come on the podcast this weekend. Don't want to put you on the spot, but we'll hope to see you in here real soon. And when you do, we're going to have you sign that on air so everyone knows it's an official
awesome.
Yeti signed disc. But I think what we have coming up next is a call with a sponsored amateur out of Denver, Colorado. Him and his dog have a very interesting story to tell us about Lone Star discs. So stick around and we'll be right back with Adam.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by the James Conrad T-Pad. Not just T-Pads, but launch pads. Do you like runways? So do we. Welcome back to the Barely Stable podcast. We're very excited to have one of Lone Star's esteemed amateur-sponsored players on.
Otto from Colorado.
Otto from Colorado. Without further ado, welcome Otto from Colorado and his owner, Adam. Adam will be doing most of the speaking as the human of the group. And I think Otto's, there he is. He's rummaging around in there. Hey, buddy. So Adam, oh, there he is.
Yeah, this is Otto.
What's up, buddy?
There he is. That's a good boy.
Sponsored player.
Sponsored
He's
player.
a good boy. Really good disc golf dog too.
Nice.
He looks like a good boy. So Adam, tell us the story. How did this all come to be?
So I saw on a lot of the tournaments, I saw a ton of Lone Star guys there, and all over the Facebook groups, I saw tons of Lone Star sponsored players. And I was looking them up, and a lot of these guys were like 710 rated, and just I had no idea how they were getting sponsored. So I did a lot of investigation into it, and I kind of find out it was more of a predatory marketing scheme that allowed lower players to have the opportunity to say they were sponsored. And I was interested on how low the levels were. So what I did was applied with Otto's name. I put a fake fake PDGA number. I think I just put mine backwards. I think I put like a 770 rating, and under the bio, I just put I like catching frisbees, and that was it. And I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work."
Did it have a photo of Otto?
No,
Okay.
there was no section to put a photo.
Okay.
So I applied thinking, there's no way this is going to work. And then a couple weeks later, I got an email from I think his name was Sheldon Richardson. He said, "Hey, you're accepted on the team. Congratulations." And so yeah, we were pretty pumped on that. I mean, they had no idea he was a dog at the time.
So did they ever come to light? Did Lone Star ever become like aware that Otto is a dog? Like it seems like the story's everywhere at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, I posted I screenshot the email, and I posted it in my local Facebook group. I was thinking I was just gonna get like 5 likes or something, and it just went viral. I mean, within like a day, Drew Gibson was talking about it. Brody Smith was talking about it. I didn't know how viral it actually went. I didn't know that they were talking about it on the Foundation podcast. Someone named Bergnerd, he made an awesome video about it. I had no idea all that happened. And Lone Star caught on to it. And at first, they kind of went with the story, and they were using it as marketing. They never told me about it. They never talked to me. They never emailed me. They've never reached out to me. And I didn't even know it was being used as marketing. I didn't know how viral the meme actually went. And I reached out to them after I found that out, and I said, "Hey, that's great. You guys are using this meme as marketing. I love a good meme. Could we get maybe like Otto a jersey or something? I can make him an Instagram, and like we can have we can expand on it." And they were real jerks to me, honestly.
Really?
Interesting. It seems
Yeah,
like
like,
such
I
a
guess-
great marketing opportunity to chase after, right?
Yeah, I was wondering why there was I felt like maybe some shots thrown early on in your description that I was going to bring up, but this makes sense why maybe how are they jerks? Like what happened?
So,
It seems
yeah.
like we're all guys that are literally come from marketing one way or another.
Yep.
This seems like a no-brainer to us.
Yeah, the former marketing director, Geoff Hofstra, he was going to run with the story. He was going to contact me and, like work with me and send him a jersey and all that. But but he said that I talked to him after he left the company. He said the big heads at the company were really kind of pissed at the situation and told him to shut it down and to stop all this. And I reached out to him, to see if I can get a jersey or something. And they said that they did not use Otto's image. They did not use my memes idea. Basically saying the entire marketing thing that they did had nothing to do with the meme. And then I screenshotted it and sent it to them, and then they just stopped responding to me.
Interesting.
Oh man.
That's rough. That's not what I was expecting to hear at all, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
That's a little too bad to hear.
Yeah.
It seems like the only thing you can do in that situation is sort of lean into it. Like it's obviously something that slipped through the cracks. Like they didn't intentionally. It's just it kind of. I think you exhibited maybe the absurdity of how simple it is, but.
I think that answers a lot of the criticism about it, though. Is it's like, oh yeah, anybody can do. Well, we let the dog in, and we want people to have. Because I don't think there's a lot of people trying to be on the Ranger team that aren't throwing a bunch of mint plastic already.
Oh, Lone Star.
Lone Star, sorry, Lone Star plastic. So I don't think that. I don't see what it would hurt.
Yeah,
like, I don't see.
But I was the same as you. I noticed a lot of the Lone Star jerseys, and my favorite thing I was just telling the guys is to ask them. I was like, "Oh, how'd you get on the Lone Star team?" And then hearing the sort of elaborate story that seems a little bit made up sometimes. Some guys are pretty honest about it because, like you said, they just throw a lot of Lone Star anyway.
Yeah.
But the I guess the dog thing at this point. I don't see where do you stand, but it seems like you kind of have like an opinion of Lone Star now, and it kind of seems like a lot of pros have taken that opinion too. Like they haven't had much success with the team staying together. Kind of seems like the brand may be drifting a little bit off course. How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of that was I think Geoff Hofstra did an incredible job with their marketing team. I mean, he had a big following, and I mean, obviously they had a ton of success in 2023 with how many people, with the Ranger team expanding the way it did and all the pros it did. And I'm not sure. Yeah, after they got rid of him, I think just their marketing just kind of went off, like fell off a cliff. And they've had a lot of bad stories. I guess I think Otto might be one of them, and a lot of their pros leaving the team. And so yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Just not very great marketing and bad publicity heading their way a couple times.
And this is something we need to add for post, or if we have it. What was the meme that they were using? The one that went viral.
It was on Black Friday. They posted a picture of Josh Hofstra applying to the Ranger team, and on it was a black lab, and it said, "Who let the dogs out?"
Oh wow! So like very much leaning into the dog.
Yeah,
100%. Okay.
And then,
well, I can see why they got a little
also
tight in the pants about not wanting to like steal someone's idea, then, because you don't use language like that unless you're avoiding stealing someone's idea. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a? Let's say you had one last thing to say to Lone Star. One thing to maybe like I don't know, advice or a say la vie. Like, what would you say to him if you could do I don't know, say one thing to him? Because you called the Ranger team predatory at the beginning. You called out a few people by name. It feels like maybe there's I feel like you've had some time to think about it. Maybe if you had to put a statement to it, what would it be?
Yeah, I guess just like the disc golf community is a lot of welcoming people, and a lot of people have good sense of humor. So just in the future, maybe just go with the meme and like just roll with it. I mean, I think they had a really good opportunity with what happened, and they did the opposite. And
well, that's the tagline for our show: is just be cool.
Yeah.
So
Just be cool.
yeah.
Well, listen, man. Up in I know you guys have a little bit of snow on the ground still, probably up in Colorado. But any tournaments you're looking forward to as the season gets started for you guys?
Yeah, I'm very excited for one actually. This is the first year I've been planning it all year, but I'm gonna start hosting tournaments now. And I listened to your last episode. I learned a ton from it, so I was really happy about that.
Awesome.
But the Simon Line Pixel is being released on the 16th.
Yeah.
And on the 17th, I'm hosting a Pixel only tournament at a really popular local par 3 course here, and a lot of people are excited about it, and I'm really excited to host my first event. So.
I'm excited about it now.
Yeah, I know. I want to come up to Colorado just to do it, man. That's a great idea. Man, good idea. That's look at that. I mean,
that's cool. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Sounds like someone disc company should hire him. That's what it sounds like. Bring the dog.
Lone Star, are you hiring?
I mean, we've already given MVP the key to their mystery boxes or their subscription boxes. Come on, hire Adam and bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know. Should we just start a company?
Just start.
All right, Adam, we're going to start a company. We're going to hire you right away. And next thing you know, we're going to sell 1 billion discs.
It's going to be called MV Star.
MV Star.
Lone P.
Lone P.
No.
We're just making up. No,
I was trying to combine.
None of those are going to work. We'll try better next time. But you liked having Goose on. I liked the episode about Goose. What was your favorite thing from Goose that you took as like a tournament director that you're going to implement for your first tournament here?
I guess just the confidence that guy has is incredible. To be able to put on 50 events in a year, and and to create some type of following like that is awesome. I mean, I'm starting off very small. My goal this year is to do 6 tournaments, but I really, really love the idea. I think you guys called it Goose Bucks or Goose something.
Yeah, we kind of we make up names for it, but yeah,
Goose Bucks.
Yeah, Goose Bucks, Chrissy Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think you guys have definitely very blessed to have him, in that area.
We feel very much the same. We feel like Austin itself is already an amazing scene, but to have guys like Goose running tournaments is, we feel like the luckiest place on the planet, to be honest.
And I feel like Goose kind of raises the bar for everybody else that's doing it.
Absolutely. Kind of sets the standard. We were actually just talking about I don't know if you heard us talking about the Mint tryouts, but that tournament, they're also kind of doing the same thing. Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of the Lone Star team. The Mint team actually had a tryout. And I think 240 people played in a really, really well-ran tournament. I think the best tournament I've been in locally, to be honest with you. And then the top 20% of each division just made the team.
Yeah.
And then they get discs each month. They get half off Mint merchandise and discs. What's the other deals?
First priority on new
molds. And stuff.
New releases and molds. They get new stuff. So they kind of are setting the bar for the teams, it seems like. So if you're looking for a team, might be one to check out.
You don't have to come to Austin to play.
Actually, there's another team I found that is doing, it's taking advantage of people wanting to say they're sponsored. So I'm hoping to do another type of meme.
Ooh, who is
I'm
it?
buying a goldfish and going to have the first sponsored goldfish by Doomsday Discs.
Oh, Doomsday.
Yeah, I think it was $34. You pay and you get a T-shirt, a jersey, and then they send you an email saying you've been chosen to join Team's Doomsday Disc. You're one of the greats, and and then everyone shares that email to all their friends. So I'm hoping to do that next.
That's pretty great. Well, we can hope to have. If you have a dog, a fish, and a human, all in one house sponsored, that's a pretty good house of. You might be the house of disc golf.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Auto got sponsored before me. I'm still working on it.
Oh man! Now, what did they follow up? If he got sponsored, what does he get anything now? Did they not give you a T-shirt or did he get any of the benefits for being sponsored?
No, he was just basically saying Doomsday is like a pay-to-play sponsorship. You basically pay. I think Upper Park has a similar thing where you can be on the team Upper Park. The only thing you have to do is buy a bag. And then take pictures with your bag and then post it to Instagram. And then you can apply to be on the team, I think. I don't have that exactly right, someone out the back, but I know you have to buy a bag and post about it, and then you're on the team, which kind of feels like, what am I doing here? Like, what are we doing? Am I on a team, or did you just get me to buy something? Because it feels like you just got me to buy something. And that's kind of what felt like you were saying early on with the marketing method that they were using with the team members. Like they have to have half their bag Lone Star, but you have to buy those discs, right? Do you know if that's correct?
Yeah, and I think what is it? They do 90. You have to do 90% Lone Star, and then
90% Lone Star. Sorry.
Yeah, and then after your first purchase, they only give you like a 10% discount, and the discs are $25 by themselves. So, I mean, you can go to your local disc golf store and get any other company for lower prices than that. So it doesn't really make sense.
It's pretty funny. So you get 10% off, so they're $20, and you can get like anything from Inna for 18.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, depending on the plastic. Yeah. No, I thought it was a neat, when I first thought about it, I thought it was a neat idea. Cause like I said, like if you have a bag full of that brand of disc anyway,
absolutely,
why wouldn't you? And then you get the free t-shirt. Yeah. Like, I've bought t-shirts for Innova and for Mint, and, I didn't get to say I was on the team, but,
no, yeah,
you know what I mean? So
that's kind of funny. It's like sometimes you see people with jerseys from different teams, and it could be the 49ers or it could be Innova, and that's really how you're voting, right? You're kind of showing your allegiance by using your dollar, and that's almost like the truest way of showing your team membership. But I agree. If I threw almost all Lone Star, maybe it works out. Definitely if I threw all Mint, that's the dream. I don't really throw any Mint. I just really throw the lobster. But
lobster.
I got one last question for you, Adam, before we let you out of here. So let's say you and Otto are out on the course, and you guys see another cute disc golfing dog named Lola. What is your policy for saying hello with your dog to another dog? Do you put him on the leash? Do you keep him off the leash?
Yeah, I love bringing Otto disc golfing, and his favorite thing to do is meet other dogs. And I'm really pro keep your dog on a leash, and I don't think many people know about it, but the around the waist leashes are so helpful in disc golf, because you can unclip them and put them around a tree, put them around the post and everything like that, and then on your upshots and putts, your hands are still free. And so I've been telling all the dog owners to use those. I've been actually going to start a Facebook group for disc golf for dog owners, and share different ideas with each other on how to, because I mean
it's a great idea.
It's difficult because sometimes they're pulling, and it makes your round not as fun. But
this also sounds like a great Reddit thread.
Yeah. I have a big German Shepherd. Her name is Penny. Yeah. She comes along a lot. And back when she was a puppy, I used to leash her to the bag, which was great. I have a pretty heavy bag. But as she got bigger, that became detrimental, because she decided she wanted to walk off. I was like, I'm just going to drag your bag with me and dump all your shit out of it. Like, so.
Yeah, sometimes I clip Lola up to the cart, but the around the waist thing, I think I'm going to have to look into that. That sounds like the way to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was also taking. I have a harness. I was going to take it to a seamstress. I wanted to get putter pockets put on it. I think that'd be really cool to have your dog carry your putters for you.
That's a really great. I have one of those, like if you take your dog backpacking, like you get from REI, it has 2 little pouches. Mm-hmm. I'll bet, I've never even tried it, I'll bet 2 discs slide into each side of those.
I had one that had room for 2 water bottles. And
but discs instead?
No, I put the water in there because it's hot in Texas. And the problem is she would get hot too and then go swimming. Yeah. And then
all your stuff goes in the water too.
Yeah. Then if it was just the water bottles, it was fine. But I'd be like, I'll put an extra t-shirt in here. And then that would just get soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we love dogs here too. Obviously, we have one that's on the podcast every week. Penny's always out with us on the course. So we love seeing dogs out there. Adam, if you're ever down here in Austin, know you have 3 guys that will take you golfing. Any place you want to go, all the best courses. So please, by all means, reach out. We'll get you around. But we don't want to keep you up too much longer. We know it's a little bit... I know you're probably just getting done with work there in Denver.
Yeah, it's about 4 o'clock.
About 4 o'clock.
Hit up the Glow League tonight. So.
Glow League too. So you got to get to Glow League. Do you have to mention that you have something? It looks like and I don't know exactly what it is, but someone might have spilled something on the wall in your hallway. I don't know if it looks like some muck or some dirt or some, it could be crud. I don't know what. There's something on the wall there in the hallway. You might want to wipe that off when you get out of there. Go blue.
I'm a huge Ohio State Buckeye fan. I mean, my chair.
Oh, I saw
got
the back of your chair,
on.
the jersey. Yeah. But we had to mention it real quick.
I live
National
for the
champions,
Buckeyes, man.
3 years in a row. You guys can spell $4 million and it won't matter. We're coming for you. I'm just kidding,
Michigan had
Adam.
One of the greatest teams in college football history this year, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, isn't it way more fun when we're both pretty good? I mean, Ohio State was pretty awesome the last 3 years. They were like a field goal and a kick and a tackle away from being literally in the national championship. So obviously all in good fun. They're good. They're going to be way too good next year. I'm actually very nervous. So we're going to get all of our celebrating out while we can before you guys kick our teeth in next year in Columbus.
Ride that wave while it's going.
Yeah, while you can, because it's crashing soon. We knew what it felt like for 10 years. So you guys did a good job. Anyway, Adam, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it very, very much, sir. Again, that invitation's always open if you're down here in Austin. Yep. And if we're ever up in Colorado, you better know we're going to check out one of those tournaments and see you out there on the course.
All right, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure thing. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, that was Adam from Colorado and his dog Otto, one of the members of Team Lone Star this year.
Who let the dogs out?
Who did let the dogs out? That is interesting. I did not expect the animosity to be that high.
I didn't expect him to, like, when he came out, it was like predatory. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I was like, is Epstein running the Lone Star? Like, what is going on? Predatory? Like, I was uncomfortable there for a minute.
Yeah.
Really nice guy, though. Obviously, would love to play around with him if he's ever down here in Austin. Can totally see where he's coming from, though, especially if they were jerks to him and sort of like kind of get it. Actually, I don't kind of get it. I totally get it. I would be that times two.
Well, if they were definitely using my picture of my animal, like, you feel like, throw me a bone. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just be cool.
Luckily,
it's
I think
jersey, right? Like,
I completely agree. You know what I think the good part is that do you guys throw Lone Star at all?
No,
me neither.
I have a couple.
You have a couple?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Do you like them?
I really liked the Mockingbird, and then
they're in your bag right now.
I don't have a bag right now.
Okay, exactly. So you and this guy, like most people in the world, don't have any Lone Star in their bag, and I have a feeling that trend's going to continue. I don't think they're going to come back from this unless they have some, I don't know. They're going to have to really like grab the side of the wall like Bane. I came from the darkness and like work their way back. Up out of the well because it's a free fall right now. It feels like.
Mean, that's a good hot take. We'll see if it comes true.
Yeah, I think.
Should I stop shitting on Lone Star? Is that what you're saying?
What I did was I just called it a hot take, and then it's okay.
Okay.
You can say whatever you want. And after that take,
lukewarm take over here. I think Lone Star is going to be just fine. I think that they have enough people that like their discs and like their plastic and that are throwing them.
Do you think that's only true because the size of Texas is such?
Yeah, the size and the pride in Texas. Also, I really like, I think it's the Lima plastic for like kids or for older players. I actually bought a couple of the super lightweight ones. My mom wanted to get into disc golf. And so I got her some.
Does she know Ken Climo? I'm kidding. Shout out Ken Climo. Just kidding. No free shout out.
What an awesome interview.
What an awesome guy.
Oh, he's bagging on everybody's bomb.
Again, Adam, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast. It's a huge insight to like how things actually happen. It's crazy to think that he was like on Foundation. Brody's talking about him. Drew Gibson's talking about him. And then they sort of just left him out in the cold like that. I don't know. I'm sure Lone Star will be just fine, but
seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it seems like a huge miss there. But what we do have coming up next, and I know someone's pretty excited.
My hero, 12-time world championship winner, Ken Climo, is going to be on our podcast. He was our very first X-follower. Been super cool since day one. Really excited to talk to him. Really hoping that he calls in like he said he would.
Yeah, what are we at? About 10 minutes before he calls in?
That. Yeah.
All right.
We're going to kick it to break. You're watching the Barely Stable podcast. Come back and see us. You're watching the Barely Stable podcast. Ken Climo when we get back. Okay, welcome back. Any second now, we should have Ken Climo on the phone, 12-time world champion.
Yeah, it looks like he should be calling here in just about any second.
Yeah.
It's really
Fingers
cool to
crossed
see.
it actually calls.
We got him.
Oh, you got him?
I don't believe
Look
it.
at
but we
that,
got
on
him.
time.
Got him. Okay. Hi, Ken. Daniel Freeberg with the Barely Stable podcast here. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, we're so excited to have you on. Ken, can I call you Ken?
Ken's fine, but I prefer Champ.
All right, champ. Well, I sure appreciate that. Tell me, you're a first follower on Twitter. Also,
We're gonna get paid for this, right? You'll send me the money right now.
oh,
'Cause I don't have I haven't seen Venmo clear yet.
yeah, you should be getting my Venmo as soon as we get done. And also, I got the address you sent me. I'll be sending a Team Potato hat for you as well.
All right. Deborah said that's fine.
Okay. I'm glad that Deborah was happy with that.
All right, Ken. So sorry, we'll get the money thing figured out. But you've been on X. We've seen you sort of take home there. What made you want to jump on social media for all this time not being on social?
Oh, Twitter. X is fantastic. It's just a great place where everything that sucks on the internet is gathered for you in one convenient location. And I don't even know why they changed it from Twitter to X. Sounds like a site you don't want your kids looking at now.
Yeah, maybe if there was a few more of those X's next to it, that's that could be a thing.
Well, that's the kind of site I'm talking about. Like, is it like that? I feel like there's a lot of garbage out there, but nothing that excites me,
Yeah, I think if there's any one social media site is porn, I think it is at X. I think that's accurate. That's good job.
I like to think of it as porn for your mind if you're looking at my X page.
Okay, yeah. So on your X page, I noticed you've kind of gone at a few guys, yeah.
Well, especially Drew Gibson. And right now, I'm just doing it because it's easy. He's like the Dallas Cowboys of the disc golf world. He's just fun to dunk on.
So, Ken, you don't like the Cowboys. You're in Clearwater, aren't you? That's Bucks territory. You a Bucks fan?
Let me tell you something about Tom freaking Brady. This guy calls himself the GOAT. 7 world champions makes you a GOAT? I have 12 world champions. What does that make me? Almost 2 GOATs?
Does definitely you have just one short?
That's just math. It's easy.
You are just one short of twice as many as Brady.
Speaking of Drew Gibson's mother, so we got this kid out here throwing all over the yard. He can throw. Let's be honest. He can throw far.
He's got the distance for
but
sure.
I'll tell you, accuracy is not his forte.
Yeah, it seems like you and Drew Gibson have some sort of like hidden, I don't know, rivalry or something. Do you guys have something going on there? Like first it was him, now I feel like you and Brody are kind of going at it.
Oh, man, Gibson was just such a baby. I picked him on a little bit, and then he just cried like a little baby. He just blocked me on it, blocked my account, didn't want to talk to me, sent out an email that was like, Happy Tuesday, you suck, Ken Climo. You're not even real. Well, I'm real. I'm here. I'm talking to you guys, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. That's a weird way to prove how real you are. Do we vet this guy?
You want to talk about Brody Smith? You know, I started touring back in '87 with my boy Claw Nail, C.R. Willie. And shit, I fucked up his name. He hates when I do that. So we were up in Chicago, Illinois, and 1987, about 36 years ago. And I met this beautiful woman whose last name was Smith. And, well, let's just say I think I know why Brody's as good as he is.
Did you plant a seed in Chicago? What are you saying? Are you saying you're Brody Smith's father?
He could be one of my tour babies, yes.
I didn't know. I did not know disc golfers got down like that in the '80s. That is, that's crazy. So what else? What else you have going on? I know. So you're on Twitter now. That seems to be taking up a lot of your time. Are you doing any events? Are you still throwing discs?
What am I, Scott Stokely? Am I going to go to some C-tiers and take away money from all the local kids? With my shitty forehand.
Okay. Let's not be jumping on Scott Stokely. We're actually trying to get him on the show right now because of the documentary that just came out with him.
Oh, you're trying to get Scott Stokely on the show? Just pretend you're running a C-tier and there's $100 added cash. He'll show up.
I know that we're big fans of Scott Stokely here on this show, but obviously, champ, I guess you can do what you got to do.
You know what I call Stocks? We used to call him Knuckles because he's got that great Knuckles tattoo.
He does with the disc golf, right?
Yeah, it says disc golf on his knuckles because he plays disc golf in a lot of C-tier events when there's $100 added cash.
Oh, good stuff. So I know you get this question probably a lot, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about what maybe got you into disc golf or how you started?
Women. Let me tell you one thing. You want to impress a woman in the 80s? You can do 3 things. You can buy an IROC Z76 Camaro.
Okay.
It's one thing you can do.
Okay.
You can go to the gym, eat some steroids, and get big like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Or
That's another thing you can do. Or you can play some disc golf and sling plastic around the yard like a goddamn maniac. And I'll tell you, the number of panties thrown at me in 1989 alone would blow your mind.
That was your first championship, right?
First one recorded.
I did win my first disc golf championship in '89, but that was back when disc golf was hard. Kids these days, they're soft.
How do you mean? How's the game different?
When I first started, we had different plastic. If you wanted to shape a shot, it had to turn in the air. You couldn't skip it off the freaking ground. Also, the chains. Putting is a joke. Basket's got like 50 chains now. In my day, they had like 7.
7 chains. Okay. That is a little different. That is a little different. I'm getting some signals here from my what? I
think this is legit.
My producer here has pulled up some things on the screen. That's we're sure we're talking to Ken Climo here.
The one, the only, the real, the champ, Ken Climo. Anybody who thinks otherwise is probably an idiot.
Brody Smith seems to think that you are not the real Ken Climo. Is that accurate?
Oh, that guy's just a liar.
Glenn, I don't want to question the legitimacy of this call or anything, but you do know, like, this is Ken Climo, right?
This is the one and the only Ken Climo, 12-time world champion, and anybody who says otherwise is an idiot. Hold on a sec. I'm going to have to go pretty soon. I think Drew's mom is here.
Drew's mom, what do you mean?
Drew Gibson's mom is what you're saying?
Drew Gibson's mom comes to my house 3 times a week and makes me a casserole. Just the way I like it, if you know what I mean.
She makes you a casserole. Well, can we get you to do the thing that I sent you, the plug?
Oh, right. Listen to the... Oh, right.
What's the just plug the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right, real quick. Make sure you send the rest of the Venmo money, though. Listen to the Barely Stable podcast with these 3 idiots, or else you're an idiot, too. Barely Stable, the disc golf podcast for champions. Like me, 12-time world champ, Ken Climo.
Remember, just be cool. Can you say that, please?
And remember, when you're out there on the course, just be cool. Like me, 12-time world champion, Ken freaking Climo.
My man, Ken Climo, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about after you go. Enjoy your casserole.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay.
So I guess that was Ken Climo. That was fun.
I don't think it was Ken Climo.
12-time world champion. Wait, why don't you think it's him?
Did you just listen to that conversation?
Did you hear anything he had to say?
I mean, the dude has won 12 world championships. He's fucking around on Twitter. Like,
I'm gonna have to
how old
go
is he?
research Ken Climo interviews, because that does not seem like Ken Climo would be that crass.
Oh, he's been playing since the 80s. Like, it was a different time.
Yeah, okay.
back
Disc golf
then.
bro talk. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he was trying to grab anybody by the hoo-ha, you know?
Okay.
Is that too much?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're
that
running
is
for
too
president,
much.
I mean, only if you're running for president.
mean,
All right, well, thanks to Ken Climo, I guess, Adam and Otto from Colorado, and big shout out to Jay Yeti Reading for putting on such an awesome Battle Royale.
That was
Maybe the
amazing.
most fun tournament I played in, definitely all year. But easily the most fun tournament I've played in all time. That was a great time. One thing we didn't mention that I don't think we brought up too quick is that there was a small competition between the three of us for this event this weekend.
I may or may not have spoiled it a little
No,
bit.
I think we just, I don't even think we're going to use that cut that we took earlier.
Depends on what
Because
he
who
does
knows
there.
where that is in this edit. So we have a little competition that we've kind of started between the three of us.
That's true.
And in, I guess, anytime we're playing in a event together, we're going to play the same division.
Yes.
And whoever scores best in that event are going to get a pair of Stunna shades.
Yeah.
So a pair of blue and I guess this kind of color sunglasses, blue and orange, and you get to wear those on the course. And I think in the studio.
And I think for sure.
Okay.
Studio. And we did have on this one, we had a little bit of an argument on who should get it. Like the person who won the.
Was there an argument?
Not an argument, but
It wasn't so much an argument as it was
discussion.
that one person thought it should be one way and the other two thought it should be a different way.
Yeah. So
Did someone think it should be one way?
I honestly don't know.
I don't know.
To be perfectly honest, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
right after the round, we had a discussion about whether it should go to the person who won the PDGA rated round,
Okay.
or if it should go to the person who won the Battle Royale. Fortunately, in this instance, we did not have to make that decision. Nick went big time. 930 rated round at a course he'd never been to. And then last am standing in the Battle Royale.
That was the only cool thing. We were the only three people in our division for the PDGA round. It was honestly kind of whatever. It was a fun, awesome course, but I think everyone could have shot a little better. It's like whatever. A really fun course though. But how fun was it? I mean, all of us survived. All of us made it past the front nine.
But,
Oh, yeah.
All right. So like that was, I didn't think I would get to the ninth hole. I thought I would be out somewhere between 6 and 9. That was like, if I could just find that window, I would feel like somewhat success. I figured we were going to be home by the time we finished.
Yeah, and we made it past Dez and Yeti too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
made it
that
past
was
Dez
huge.
and Yeti.
That felt great.
And I know you guys accuse me of the Freeburg excuse train, but I'm going to hop on for a second. Boop, boop. Going in, when I got on the chopping block, I just
Okay.
made a really stupid decision. I ran a shot that I should have laid up. And it was bad because I was like, I got to it and I was like, I'm just going to throw this in. I was like 130 feet out.
I think we did the same thing on that suicide hole
you
on the
did.
side of the hill.
Yeah, we each could have laid up and been totally fine, and we
Yeah.
went for the putt. There was like a 10-foot putt and missed it and screwed ourselves over.
But the crazy thing is I went on the chopping block with the final two. So if I had just laid it up, one of them would have had to go before. So it could have changed everything.
could have changed everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you really, that's
Yeah.
You enabled them.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the
Yeah.
reason. So you're the reason why I got knocked out early.
Well, I think
He makes a
the
point.
roll away might have.
Okay, yeah, it might have been that.
That rollaway didn't make it punch out though.
It didn't. It was my bad shot. It put me on the chopping block. I shouldn't have been on the chopping block.
Yeah, I was on the chopping block that same hole.
We shouldn't have been on the chopping
No,
block.
we should have both thrown to the bottom of the basket. It just felt like it was easier to throw it in. But like that's not the strategy of the game.
Yeah.
And like you're on the side of a hill, like I kind of had to throw a little Annie around a little tree, and it was only like 6 feet, but it just
And
it
I
didn't fall in.
I don't know if you caught when you were editing the video, but I even said something. I was like, didn't they learn anything from me?
I honestly, as I was looking at it, the way it was so slanted, I thought the most risk the disc had was not being in the basket. I felt like the safest place it could land was in the basket. That was the most secure place.
We both knew that we could just lay up and put in for a bogey and we'd be fine. But we decided that it was safer. It's that thing in disc golf where you play it safe and then you mess up that safety shot and you're just like, why didn't I run this thing or why didn't I go for it? It happens more often than not for me where I'm like, play it safe and I get a roll away or I, go too short or too light with it. And it's like, I should have just committed.
What I was the most
I think
jealous
you just
about.
hit key tenet.
Yeah.
Like disc golf.
We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah.
What I was the most jealous about was that you got to play it was hole 17. It was actually the 16th hole.
Yep.
It was like a very high platform.
Yeah.
Throwing down a hill over a river.
Through a little gap. You got a good video of it.
Did I?
Yeah. It was easily the best shot I threw all day, and it was nerve-wracking to say the least.
It was, especially with like it was you and pros at that point. Like
Yeah.
there was nobody who wasn't awesome.
And I had to throw first. So it's basically, 430 foot downhill shot over a river and put it about 12 feet from the basket.
Yeah, I was super jelly. I wanted to
amazing.
I wanted to get to that hole. I didn't think I was going to. Obviously, I didn't think any of us.
Did you hear Yeti when we said we wanted another shot on the hole? He's like, "Oh, that's when you say I'm going to throw a provisional." You guys didn't know where that one went. That's good thinking.
Just throw like 4 provisionals.
Yeah. What's that to hurt? You're going to take your first one anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was such a fun event.
Good time.
Know what else was fun? Doing this podcast with you, my friend.
Hell yeah.
This was a good day.
Hell yeah. We
Glad we got to talk to Ken Climo.
I still can't believe you guys don't think that's real. Come on. I think
I don't know.
There's no way.
It just doesn't seem likely. I'm happy to be proven wrong if it is him, but it
makes me sad. I was so excited.
I was pretty excited
reached
too.
out. He's been so cool. He was so funny.
Oh, I was like, we're gonna have our first pro on. It's not only some pro; it's a pro that I have so many discs of his.
Yeah.
Like he's like the NBA logo.
Yeah.
Of disc golf. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well,
we're
if
gonna
it's
look
not-
into it more.
If it's not him, I'm gonna tell you this: I'm gonna find that guy, and we're gonna talk to him because my heart's broken. I'll be honest with you; I'm a little sad. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to figure this whole thing out. Next episode, we have a great episode, actually. We're going to talk about building your bag. And a lot of people do build your bag outs. A lot of people do in the bags. I think we're going to approach it with a little bit different mentality. And rather than talk about all the different discs we have in our bag, why we like them, and blah, 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 I think we're going to talk about what kind of slots do you want to fill in your bag. And like, as you start off, maybe what are the beginner slots, and then what you can kind of progress from there. And then those slots kind of pair with different shots, right? So like as you want to throw a new shot, you kind of need a new disc sometimes. Like if you really want to throw a long turnover shot, you really can't do that with every disc.
Yeah,
you
not
kind of need
everything.
Exactly. So we're going to dive into kind of the hows and whys and whats of building out your bag as you start the 2024 season. We're going to take a look at our own bags and put them up under the scrutiny of our little matrix that we have and see what kind of holes that we have in our bags. And we're going to give some of our viewers an opportunity to send in their bags and take a look at those too. Cool. So we'll do that next episode. Here at Barely Stable.
Thanks so much for joining us. Remember, when you're out on the course, watch out for those iron leaves. And remember, just be cool.